I'm Barry McNeil. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I practice in both state and federal court. I wanted to talk for a moment about technology and cross-examination. Not high technology, just technology. To me, the most important thing about cross-examination at trial is cross-examination in the deposition itself. People often come unprepared. And when they come unprepared, there are just a lot of things that you can do. One example, I just happened to stumble on this recently. The individual that was going to be testifying against my client at trial and was quite upset about my company's conduct, in taking the oath, raised his hand, and this was all on video, raised his hand, and as he raised it and as he was taking the oath, started shaking. And then he started looking at his hand that was shaking, and he started scratching it. And then he did a little more of this, and I happened to notice it, and I didn't know the consequence of it until later. I saw the video deposition in my office. And regardless of what he intended, the effect of all this was that the jury ultimately that saw him take this oath at trial, because I showed that video at trial, came away thinking the guy can't even take the oath. He can't even tell the truth in the first instance. So that was just a little manna from heaven that happened to fall out. Those sorts of things can happen in depositions. Just as importantly, though, because that's not going to happen all that much, just as importantly, if you're videotaping an individual in a deposition, they often don't come prepared for it. They sort of sloop down like this, and they're often like this. They don't wear a shirt, a nice shirt, they don't wear a tie. And so now at trial, they're on the stand and they're looking very good. And you're asking them some questions, and you're asking them whether that's how they answered the questions earlier in the deposition. And they're saying, well, I really don't recall. And you say, well, could I remind you? And then you just bing the barcode, and up pops them in the deposition looking like this, disheveled. That's very, very powerful for a jury. The key to the deposition is, one, videotaping it, not expensive at all. Two, real time, not expensive at all. You're looking at what they're saying as they are saying it. Three, making sure that you ask the question briefly, concisely, so that when you're playing that video deposition to the jury at trial, you're not going on and on about the question. The question's short and to the point, and then their answer, hopefully, will be similar. Finally, you want to make sure that you get the kinds of questions and answers in that videotape deposition that you can ultimately display to the jury in your closing argument. Testimony is all complete. The jury is now going to be hearing final argument, and what you want to be able to do is remind the jury of the video deposition of your individual, and you can remind the jury of that in your closing if you have used that during the course of cross-examining the witness at trial.